Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here. Totem Pole Nation, Totem Pole Sports, TGIF. The grind includes Friday. Coach Troy Taylor, what's going on, my man? How are you today?
Hey, man, just looking forward to today. We got three coaches from the North Carolina Tar Heels coming on. The offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, who's from Alabama, was a high school coach in Alabama and Georgia, and was most recently the head coach at Troy. And we got Gene Chizik, he was head coach at Auburn when they won the national championship with Cam Newton. And then we got Alex Mars, who's the high school player relations uh, director there, and he's the one that set all this up. And then we got Marcus Roberson from Fork Union Military Academy, and he's going to talk about what it's like to go to Fork Union, because there's so many of these prep schools and wannabe post grad programs that's just hustling kids. So we got a full day, and we're pumped up and excited.
Yeah, definitely, man. Why not? I'm very interested, in hearing from that original coach from Carolina, because I want to know what kind of role he has involved, and he's probably got to be a busy guy looking and finding these guys and trying to communicate, and then coordinating with getting coaches to get to see these guys and stuff like that. Man, that's got to be a pretty exciting, pretty busy job.
High school player relations guy.
Right.
Yeah, his dad was a high school coach, I think in Virginia or somewhere.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my power going on this laptop.
Okay. Yeah, we hear you good. I got
I'll be right back.
No worries. Coach Tatum, how you doing this morning, my man? Happy Friday. The grind includes Friday, man. We always say that. As you see, man, it's a gorgeous one here in St. Petersburg. I got the short sleeves on. It's probably 68, 70 degrees. I got the old buck over there, man. She's probably ready to jump in the water now, But yeah, man, we had a good time. Took her for a long walk yesterday, and then got her in the house, and man, she was at that back door, and I just knew she wanted to hop in that pool. And yeah, man, that's exactly what happened, man. I opened the door, and dude, she just walked right in that pool. And when you're thirsty and you're hot at the same time, why not just hop in the pool and start drinking the water, right? That's the mindset of a good dog. But yeah, man, today the message is kind of leadership. Leadership is such a crucial thing in all aspects, and I think the best teachers are the ones who are the best at leadership. And I've been a person that has struggled. There was a time where I was too heavy. There was a time where I was a smoker. There was a time where I felt like I had addiction problems, mental problems, about as many problems as you can add up. I probably faced it and everything. And just through leadership and eventually failing so many times, you eventually keep trying something different, and eventually you find something that works. And I was one that grew up with great leadership. I had some great coaches, from my Pee Wee level coach Mike Harefield to my high school coach Matt Bland. My mom is such a good leader, man, such a sweetheart. She's the type, she worked in a factory her whole life. She'd be the type, walk around the factory and just start handing out chewing gum to everybody, just smiling and just, being a big sweetheart and everything. So, yeah, man.
I was thinking about when your mom used to work at the chapstick place.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And all that chapstick she would bring.
It used to be Whitehall Robins. Back in the day, and that's right there in that Verona area. But yeah, I worked that place for a while myself. I worked in the bulk manufacturing area, and all we did was we got all the product, weighed it up, put it in a big old blender type deal, mixed it up, and then we'd shoot it downstairs, and that's where she'd be doing all the packaging and everything. And man, we had a guy there named Ken Oddie, and that guy was a leader, man. They called him the Hatchet Man, because when that guy walked in the room, man, if you was messing around, you stopped messing around. You know what I mean? He was just one of these dudes where he was all business, but man, he had a great charisma about himself, and he could make the whole room laugh. And I never forget, man, because he had the Abraham Lincoln beard. Like, this dude would walk in a room, you'd be like, holy cow, this is Abraham Lincoln. What is he doing here? But yeah, man, the leadership, you know what I mean? I think it comes in all aspects. And, I've been one that, over time I've had lead positions. And, one of the ways I've found that leadership, works, and, when you're working with new people and you want them to step up, is, sometimes I'll go to them and ask them, what kind of game plan, can we do to knock this out? And if they've got a pretty good game plan, I want them to go for it. You know what I mean? I'm going to give them the heads up. Yeah, man, go for it. Let's ride with your game plan, because that's the thing. If it's a good game plan that he's got, he's probably going to try to execute a little bit better than my game plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And Coach Tatum is a leader.
Without a doubt.
Organized an offensive line coaching clinic. So if you're on here, you watch this later today, make sure you hit Coach Tatum up at Coach Tatum on Twitter and get involved with his offensive line clinic. That is leadership. He sees a need. There's a need for an offensive line clinic online, and Coach Tatum's bringing people together. Coach Tatum, will you be going to Brad Lutz's clinic?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. He'd be great.
In Roanoke, Virginia. That'd also be a good place that you could do some podcasts, and get some guys and talking.
Yeah.
Talking
network. Without a doubt, man. Networking.
Leadership. Man. They say the highest form of leadership is servant leadership. And I was looking around over here.
Oh, man.
Jocko Willink.
Goodness, that is my favorite book right there.
This is a hardback.
I originally got that book for my nephew, because he's in Virginia, Jamie Anderson. He's a monster right now. He's in his senior year. He's working 40 hours a week. He's in school 30 hours. Just got him a new sweet Mustang. Just been working hard. You know what I mean? You're going to get what you work hard for. But I originally got in that book, and I was like, you know what? Let me just crack this thing, see if it's the right kind of message. Man, the next thing you know, I went cover to cover, and then the next thing I bought in, dude. And then I bought the next book, and then I bought the third book, and then I bought the fourth book, and I've read every single one of them. And they just have life lessons. They've got messages that grown adults, can take a lot of value from. And the kids, man, they love it. I was telling you, I'd read it to my granddaughter, and man, it was just so awesome, because at 3 and 4 years old, before she could really read well, she's they're kind of hard to get their attention, but they're hard to keep their attention.
Yeah,
is really what it is. But man, when I cracked that book and I started reading for a little bit, man, she was so dialed in on every word that I was saying, and it was just such a cool thing. Oh man, you got the goods, huh?
Yeah, get you, Coach Tatum. I'm sure you got a few of these laying around the house. When in doubt, just have this on your lap. Get you a pen and just start going to work. Or be old school and get a steno pad.
Man, without a doubt. But yeah, leadership, man. One guy I want to give a shout out to, my man Matt Davis up in Michigan. He worked 3 shifts yesterday. He's one of the guys that gets the plow teams out there. They get there way before the snow gets there. They get those roads safe and everything. And it's a process. They got to keep getting after it. And he's kind of the Bill Belichick up there of that. So he kind of has to make his guys, do their job. And if they don't, who's that? Barry?
Yeah.
What is that?
Barry Sanders, man.
That's
it's not the old school. This is for 1998, Kenner. They came out with the Barry. And they were talking about leaders. This is the guy right here you want the ball in the fourth quarter.
I'm having trouble seeing who that is. Elway. John Elway.
John Elway, baby.
Yeah, man. Dude, I got some of those. I'm going to have to post those up, man. I got some.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Tiger
Tiger's looking good right now, man. Tiger is looking good.
These guys right here, they were leaders in steroids.
Oh, McGuire and Sosa.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, they got pretty big. They got pretty big.
I need to get a Barry Bonds.
Oh, can you guys see that? She's coming up, man. Nice and red. Do you see that?
That looks great, man.
Look at the dog. She's over here looking at me. It's a good buck right here. Yeah. But yeah, man, those kids books right there, man, they can help grown adults. I highly, highly recommend. I believe, rumor has it, they just came out with a 5th edition to that book. So yeah, man, if you any kids you want to have some influence with and kind of get them on the right course, I highly recommend this. You know, my granddaughter started getting up earlier. You know, she started reading more.
Your granddaughter that cleans people's houses.
That's right.
Highly motivated.
Oh, yes. She is a prototypical warrior kid. We bought her a book the last Friday. She read the book in 2 days. It had to have over 120 pages. You know what I mean? And she's acing her schoolwork. They want to bump her up a grade. Man, at her school, man.
That is crazy, dude.
Yeah, man. She's a rock star. Sophia is a rock star, man. But she's on the path, you know what I mean? She's on the path, and it's a good thing. She's learned a lot from those books, and she just embraces it and loves reading, man. It's such a powerful tool, you know. We got to fuel our bodies properly, you know, to our best performance. But we always got to fuel our mind as well. You know, it's so crucial to like we have options to get more knowledge than we've ever had. You know, back in our days, it was all about the only thing we could do is, you know, crack a book.
Well, you ask your dad. You ask your dad.
You ask your mom,
and they don't know. You go to a dictionary, you look up the word. You know, we never had we had a few encyclopedia books, but never a full set. We probably had about 5.
Yeah.
Start off with A and then probably stop buying them at C at the grocery store. Never bought a whole set from the encyclopedia salesman that went door to door.
You're right, man. You remember they used to go door to door?
That was the Wikipedia. I mean, you went to an encyclopedia. I guess like you go to Wikipedia today, but today you can learn anything. I mean, you want to listen to Steve Jobs talk to Stanford University at their commencement, you could watch it. You want to watch? I was watching Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah,
give a commencement speech about, you know, leadership and how, you know, he's just, man, he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
he's the GOAT.
I know one quote I like. You know, the best leaders, they know the way, they go the way, and they show the way.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Who are your man, you probably have so many and so many different aspects, but who are your favorite, you know, as far as like football coach leaders that you would roll with?
Well, hold on, I gotta show you, man.
Coach Mountjoy. Coach Mountjoy. You got Coach Mountjoy in studio. I'm gonna jump in the pool live if you have him in studio. Yeah.
Here you go. Here's one for you.
Oh man. Wow.
That's Bobby Bowden.
Oh man, Florida.
That's a leader right there.
Legend. You know, originally West Virginia University, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then there's Nothing But a Winner. This is a VHS tape.
Holy cow.
Had to buy this from the Paul Bear Bryant museum.
Where can you buy VHS?
Nowhere now, but I still got it.
Yeah, man. An old pawn shop or something?
A VCR?
Bellwood Flea Market?
Yeah. I got a couple of them at school. If anybody needs to buy a VCR, nobody uses them anymore. Kids don't even know what they are. Yeah, I probably need to hang up my Bobby Bowden.
Oh, that's
back there. Look at that.
That's beautiful. And it's autographed?
Yeah, it's autographed. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I got a Lou Holtz somewhere too, man. I got to find my Lou Holtz.
Wow, Lou Holtz, Captain Lou.
I got a Lou Holtz. I got a Gruden.
Oh yeah, man. Those are some good good leaders right there, man. Without a doubt. Great leaders. But yeah. Hope everybody's having a great Friday morning. It's gorgeous here in St. Pete. We got a lot going on. We got some XFL this weekend, so that ought to be some pretty fun stuff. Looking forward to seeing some football, some brand new football. But yeah, Totem Pole Nation, if you have any questions
Here's
or
the leader.
anything.
Here's the leader. This is not autographed.
Let me see here. Oh, TB12, baby. The GOAT, Tom Brady.
And that is not a rookie card. That is a replica.
Yeah.
Those
replicas are probably worth $10-15 now, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
The reprint was probably the worst idea ever in the card game, right?
Well, I think this was like a bootleg reprint, but this is something Nina got me. Look at that. That's like the patents for football and stuff. She put that in a.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
hang that up behind me, dude. That's important.
Yeah, man, I had a birthday where everybody wanted to get me a bottle of something and other stuff, and then my brother Mario, he got me a football book. Man, you should have seen me. I was so happy with that football book. Everybody else was like, man, I spent blah 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 on this, and this nerd's over here, geeking out over a $20 football book. But yeah, man, it was cool stuff. Yeah, I got to figure out too, where do I post my cards at on our site? You're gonna have to give me a little intro to that, because I don't want to post them up on the on the life lessons and whatnot. Man, that sun is starting to beam. But yeah, what else? What all do you guys got going on this weekend, Totem Pole Nation? Give us a shout. I know if you guys want some barbecue, my man Kenny's got you. Ooh,
that's a John Madden book for kids.
Wow,
that's
Madden
what Coach
for kids.
Yeah,
man, what a legend that guy was. I think he still has the best winning percentages. Is that correct, Coach?
I mean, he's up there.
Yeah, man.
I mean, pro football is so hard to win in, man. It's like it's just tough.
Without a doubt.
All right, I found something to. But this guy was a leader.
I'm having trouble seeing who that is.
That's Vince Lombardi.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, that's Vince Lombardi.
What the hell is going on right now?
I'm gonna have to hook mine up, like you, man.
Yeah, man. I know. I feel like I need to go to my bookcase and start whipping out my arsenal, man. I've got a couple Lombardi books. I got a Paterno book. The relationship that Coach McPhee had with Coach Paterno was something that was just awesome to hear about, and yeah, exactly, special. And the fact that he didn't really welcome him in right away. He kind of made Coach kind of earn that love and respect, and then he treated him like a son. Such a cool thing, from a guy from Richmond having such an influence from arguably one of the greatest college football coaches of all time. Yeah, without a doubt, man.
So I need to do some decorating.
You
get rid of some stuff.
That's right, man.
Get an interior decorator come in here. Might need to fly your granddaughter up here.
I'll tell you what, man. She would have that Warrior Kid book probably in a case up there, probably right behind right beside your head. So that's like the first thing you could see, man, because that's kind of her blueprint, man. She's very fiery when it comes to those books, and She is, man. She's a sponge.
That's great, man.
Yeah, she really is. And yeah, she's got a cute little dog too, man. He is, the guy is just so freaking scared of me. You know, it's like I grab a treat and kind of put it close, but man, the dog is just so timid. You know, I guess it's because it can't see I'm smiling at him. You know what I mean? He probably just sees this big, tall, huge, excited guy. Probably he scares him a little bit.
We have Joe Ozavet coming on, I think Saturday, and Joe was the assistant coach at University of Tennessee, the Volunteers, and before that he was a junior college coach in New York. I believe it was the same one that Yaki Johnson from Bird had gone to.
Oh yeah! Oh wow! Great running back there.
Yeah, so he knew Yaki, and now he's a high school coach at Heritage High School in Tennessee, and he's going to be coming on. And then we got Coach. I don't want to mispronounce his name, which I probably will, knowing me.
Man, it's something about those Heritage High School football programs, man. I know y'all have a tough one there. They got a tough one in Tennessee. The American Heritage team down here is absolutely loaded every year, you know.
Hey, man, send Coach Tatum a link. He wants to come on the live stream, man. Hook him up. You got his.
Yeah, give me a second.
Let me do it, dude, because you got to move your phone. I got it.
Yeah, cool. But
we're going to have a special guest today. Ian Tatum is going to be coming on. I just thought, hey, Ian, I got to give you my cell number, dude.
Really me too.
Because you can send us a message on Twitter, dude. And we won't. I don't get notifications on my phone, dude.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best things.
We got to link that up.
Voicemail.
And I am not going to post my phone number.
Yeah,
Totem Pole Nation. Y'all can message me.
You can Google me.
Yeah.
You can Google me.
Wow. You're Googled?
Yeah.
You're a Googler?
Just Google me and put cell number. It'll come up.
Cell block.
I've had the same cell number since 2003.
I still remember your original phone number. Do you want me to tell you that?
Yeah.
804-752-4452.
No, but you're close.
Really?
748, man. You know everybody has 748 in Chesterfield.
I thought it was a 752 for some reason.
748
okay,
5244.
Yeah. You're right.
And my cell number is 839-5244. That was the good thing is when cell phones first started. I remember, and Alltel would tell you, well, why don't you get your first three numbers different than your home number? Have the last four the same, so you really only got to remember the first three numbers. It's genius.
Yeah,
absolutely genius.
Was the beeper like the ultimate middleman of all time?
The beeper?
Yeah, for a while, because it would be like.
I think the beeper was the ultimate. Basically, what's it called? Like Coach Tatum.
Coach T, tell us what you know about beepers.
Beepers. The only thing I know about beepers is like it was kind of like an Uber service back where I used to go hang out with friends at App State.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it's the ultimate dog leash. You know, if you had a beeper, dude, if
they can find you.
If a woman was to page you and you didn't pay and hit her back, then
you get shrubs.
Yeah,
and we always use our football number. That was your code to let your friends know, hey, this is who this is. Like this weird number, it's from 55, so you know it's.
Did y'all know that text messaging derived from beepers?
I could get that.
Because people started to change the numbers around to say words. You know how you can like make like a upside down 4 into a H?
Right,
yeah.
So tell you what,
hey, Coach Tatum, you don't have your video on. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm driving to work, so
yeah. Be careful, man. So
yeah, definitely be
we're
careful.
Talking about leadership today, and we thought that was a very leadership move in you starting the O-line clinic?
Yeah, honestly, it was just an idea that I've had for a while. And when I got on and you had Coach Lutz on talking about his clinic, I was like, well, maybe I should just go ahead and do this. And at the North Carolina Coaches Association, I kind of was talking to some guys, and we were like, we should get like an offensive line coaches like registry for North Carolina and do our own clinic. And I was like, dang, that's my idea. And so I kind of was trying to get some guys to be like, let's get it together and kind of push it forward, and not talking crap about dragging their feet. They're not really like interested in doing it right now. I was like, well, screw it, I'm gonna go. And so I was like, well, instead of being just North Carolina, I'm gonna be whoever wants to come. So yeah, it's gonna be an all-day clinic on Zoom. It's not ready for like in-person stuff right now, but March 18th, it's a Saturday. It's a tentative day right now, but I'm going with the 18th of March. And the reason is because my wife's going to be out of town all weekend, so perfect time to do a clinic. So when I say all day, I mean all day. It's going to start at 8 a.m. and I'm going to let it roll until we can't do it no more. So
till 8 p.m. That's what I did for my first clinic. I almost got divorced that day. My feet were destroyed, dude. I'm
going to let it roll, and I've already got about 75 guys signed up to either be a speaker or just to come out and watch. Awesome, response yesterday. I'm still getting DMs today. I'm sorry if y'all hear the rain, guys. Coach Bald, it is 50 degrees and pouring rain in North Carolina right now.
Man, I hear that. Wow. So, yeah, man. Definitely drive safe.
Yeah. So I didn't want to take too much of y'all's time. I just want to come on and do like a little bit of an announcement on that.
Good stuff.
But I just, I thought I'm gonna take charge. Not that much offensive line material in the off season, in my opinion, going on for clinics. So I was like, let's do this thing. And so I got a couple of college guys that are going to talk, but a lot of high school guys, because the feedback that I get from high school guys that they want to talk to high school coaches. They want to see what high school coaches do because it's relatable. So we're going to have a lot of high school guys from all across the country. I even got a guy from Nova Scotia, Canada, that's going to come on. So it's big. I'm going to be coming. I'm going to create a graphic. We're going to figure it out. And so I just want to come on and just talk about it real quick. I'm making a video.
Man. But you know that the Cool Clinic, coaches of the offensive line, that they are the Mushroom Society.
Yes.
Do you know why they're called the Mushroom Society?
I do not. Why?
Okay, because offensive line coaches and offensive linemen are like mushrooms. All right, they're kept in the dark and they're fed crap, and that's why they're called the Mushroom Society. And I was thinking we're the low man on the totem pole. So I mean, coaching offensive line is like being in the Mushroom Society. It's like being the low man on the totem pole. Like nobody cares about the offensive line, but everybody blames the offensive line. Yes. That's one thing you can do in your program is to glamorize guys that play in the box.
Yes.
Because if you play in that box, you're important. That's where you win football games, is the box. That's what I like to coach. The box.
I love it.
I like inside run.
Yeah, they don't get recognition. So I try to, I talked about this before. I try to make them feel special. Not individualized from the rest of the team, but I make them feel special, that they're important. And I think that there's value in that, and that's what I try to do.
Coach Tatum, this is something we do in the off season, and we almost did it yesterday, but I had a bad feeling, so I was like, nah, because we maxed on front squats. We actually, I am a big fan of in the off season playing backyard football.
Yeah, with
the team, and I get 4 kids who can throw the ball. I get them to pick up teams, and I get them to play backyard football. For a certain amount of time, then we switch up and we play again. You see who can throw the ball. You see who can catch the ball. You see who can cover, and everybody gets to play. Yeah. The linemen, everybody. It's fun because you'll see some linemen will surprise you. You'll find some guys that can throw the ball who you wouldn't expect. So that's one thing we do is we play backyard football. It's one-hand touch. We're not hitting nobody, but it's competitive. You see who your competitors are. Here's another one: dodgeball.
Yeah.
Dodgeball, dude. You want to see who a competitor is? We use volleyballs. Play dodgeball, dude. Like sharks and minnows, dude. That right there will wear them out, man.
Yeah,
So
when I used to coach club football, and every year you don't know who your team is, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So every year in the off season we would do that. At the end of practice, we would have we called free play, and all it was old school touch football. And like you said, you can see who can lead, who can get guys organized,
yes,
who can get guys going,
yes,
who can catch, who can throw. Yeah, we would do a little bit of like flag football blocking, like hands behind your back type deal.
Yeah.
And rush the quarterback. We would do a little bit of that, and you see who can get out there and make it happen. So yeah, I love that stuff.
And I can see why pro football went with the flag, Pro Bowl, because dude, flag is probably the future of football. I hope I don't offend anyone, but the days of blocking and tackling are over with. I mean, it's illegal here in Virginia. If you block somebody, it's a holding. If you tackle someone, you're getting kicked out of the game. I mean, dude, flag football, my son is in 6th grade, and he's only played flag football.
Yeah.
And, I mean, dude, it develops more skill because you just don't have your best player at tailback and toss it to him. And you just don't have your best player at quarterback and run a sweep. Like, kids are actually practicing throwing the ball, catching the ball, and covering people. And, dude, really, that just makes the whole game better. Because even offensive linemen, I mean, come on, man. Like, they used to say, kids don't want to play offensive line. That's one of the reasons kids quit playing football.
Yeah.
Is because they get stuck on the offensive line. And you can say, well, that's stupid, but that's the way a lot of kids think. But if you can keep kids in the game, as long as possible, and even females with the flag football, and they're pushing that. I mean, flag football is big. And, I mean, we have leagues up here, Kyle. It's Under Armour flag football. It goes all the way up into 8th grade. And we used to have a rule that if you weighed over like 10 pounds, and you were an 8th grader, like you had a stripe on your helmet.
135, coach.
You couldn't throw the ball. You couldn't catch the ball. You couldn't run the ball. You could just play line. I mean, that's better than having a weight limit where kids can't play at all, because that used to happen. Like my friend Zach Hayden. Coach Tatum, that's a guy you need to meet, is Zach Hayden. He's the offensive line coach at Patrick Henry, Roanoke. He used to coach at Verona High School.
Okay.
And Coach Lee Spickerman comes, and he corrects me. I know this.
Yeah,
no
Coach.
More stripes. And Lee, I've been fighting that for 20 years, and I'm glad that you got that done, and the rest of those guys in Chesterfield Quarterback League, because I don't even know if it was daddy ball. Like, when my son's small, I want him to be the quarterback. I don't know. Coach Tatum, how do you feel about that whole philosophy of getting kids to play flag football?
I think definitely, obviously at the younger ages, I thought like there should be a balance. Like have like 8U, whatever, 12U, whatever it is, tackle in the fall, and then play flag in the spring.
Amen.
So you can have a year-round type regiment, and of course, those are the kids that want to play football. Now
I'm gonna start preaching now.
Yeah,
you got me going, man.
For the kids that want to play t-ball and play AAU basketball, let them play, but have an option to play flag in the spring. Because like you said, I mean, that running back that's catching the sweep, he's gonna move his hips to get guys away from the flag. Well, he's juking folks like you would in tackle football.
Yeah.
So, an offensive lineman blocking without their hands, you're moving your feet, keeping your chest square, staying in front of guys. That's what you want. Then you can add the hands in. That's cheap. So I mean, I'm about it. Just as long as you don't take tackle spot, let it be an extra deal.
Well, as long as you have the NFL, I mean, Roger Goodell makes $60 million a year. As long as we have the NFL, we're gonna have tackle football.
Yeah.
All right, now these kids that play year-round football, year-round tackle football, they play 3 games on a Saturday. Dude, Tom Bratton, you need to contact Tom Bratton. I'll text you his number. He was the first head coach at LC Bird. He was the head coach at Highland Springs. He was the offensive line coach at Northwestern. He was the offensive line coach for Ralph Friedgen at Maryland. Yeah. And he told me once, he said, Troy, do you know why basketball was invented? And I said, no. He said it was invented by a football coach, Dr. Naismith, to keep his football players in shape during the winter of Massachusetts. Okay? So basketball was invented to keep football players in shape because they couldn't go out and practice. So the guy was smart. I mean, really, he just stole the idea of handball and added a basket. Because that was the first podcast we ever did, Coach Tatum.
Really?
We had the handball coach from Ohio State University come on. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Handball is older than football, soccer, handball and football. It's like the 2 first games. But, dude, football was not designed to play year-round. Tackle football.
Coach, to be honest with you, I don't think any sport is designed to be played year-round. I know you need to be in the gym shooting to keep your jump shot together. In basketball, you need to be getting your swings in baseball. But some of these kids, like let's just say baseball in general, I think the kids that play fall ball or some of these winter leagues and they're like pitchers are throwing every weekend, they're killing their arms.
Yeah.
Or basketball is not as bad on your body, but like some of these sports that are grueling, that you have to practice every day, you shouldn't be doing it every day.
Dude, I've had more players get hurt playing basketball than anything probably in my entire career. I had a kid try to jump up and touch a rim and blew out his ACL. Missed his senior year, my first year at Bird.
That's why I'm so big on multi-sport athletes, and it's not a cliche to me. I mean, I'm not. Oh yeah, everybody should play everything. Like I really do think that. It just sucks when other coaches don't. But because that basketball player that's 6'4", that's a heck of a corner. But he's an average basketball player at height. Yeah. So I mean, I think they should play everything. Don't specialize. And so I don't know.
Yeah, hey, Coach Tatum, man, I highly recommend you try to get some guys. And if I could pick any sport for a kid to play other than football, it's wrestling. Yeah, and it ain't even close. You just learn. You learn your leverage. You learn how to go one-on-one. Yeah. It is one of the best sports a youngster can learn, and it's going to help them in every aspect of their life. I've had guys that wrestled, and then they, as linemen, and then they get up, and we got a double team block, and he'll sometimes be like, "Look, I'm going to take this guy one-on-one. Maybe just throw, a little hand on the hip and go to that next level." You know what I mean? That these guys know how to take ownership. They're usually the last guys willing to quit. Some of your best tacklers, man. And, they got some weight classes that they've got more weight classes. They've added a 220. So you could have a linebacker there be a stud. You want your heavyweight that I believe it's 285. You could have a couple guys up there. And then, I think you got the 185 mark. You got 170. So you could definitely have some guys from the secondary or wide receivers, man. Those guys with the grips, man. Guys going in for ankle picks, man. That's, it's just a different variation of a tackle. Yeah. Yes, sir. And there's so many Hall of Famers, man. Ray Lewis, Roddy White was a receiver.
Ricky Williams.
So, yeah. At my new school, so one of my biggest regrets is not wrestling because I've been offered to help coach wrestling more times than I can remember. But
it'll be fun. You'll love it.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, at my new school this weekend we have a receiver DB guy that's wrestling at States at 185. We have a lineman / linebacker for me that won the regional, and he's going in at 220, whatever, 225, whatever it is.
Yeah, 220. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he's going in as one of the number one guy from our region going to States on Saturday. He has a great chance of winning States. So Yeah, I preach wrestle. If you're not wrestling, you better be throwing in the indoor track, but you better be wrestling. Like, you better be doing something in the spring. I mean,
Amen, man. Amen. Those guys that are that 220 range, man, they make great fullbacks. They make great linebackers. And as far as those, your heavyweight, those guys make good, one techniques, three techniques, offensive guards, offensive tackles, centers, man. They're just, and they're guys that'll come over, transition, and be able to, really buy into what you're doing immediately. And they're usually the last guys to want to quit at anything because wrestling is super competitive, man. We used to start at where our smallest guy would start wrestling up. And then whoever wins bumps up the next class, bumps up the next class. So, you get very competitive in it, but it's also a team sport. You're not going to get better unless you got a teammate. You need two heavyweights. You need two 220 guys. You need, two 195 guys. You need guys to push each other.
Yeah.
I tell you another thing about playing multiple sports is when you're at a program like LC Bird High School, who I don't know if Highland Springs has passed this yet or not, that has the highest winning percentage of any school in the region, close to 80% winning percentage in football. We have 6 or 7 state championships in track in the last 10 years. We have a state championship in basketball. We have Troy Mans as our basketball coach, who, he could go coach in college anywhere. He played at Virginia Tech. Our track coach is amazing. Our wrestling coach has had his first regional champ. He's been there 3 years. It's good for kids to get coached by other people. It's kind of like a parent. You want your kid to hear it from multiple people, not just yourself. And if everybody's on the same page, like our basketball coach, it's team above me, we above me, something like that. Or Bill D used to say, big team, little me. He had that tattooed, big team, little me. So it was like team in all caps and then ME in small. It was all one word, team me. Big team, little me. He had it tattooed. This is an old white guy from New York. And
leadership, baby. Leadership,
dude. His players were getting it tatted on him.
Wow.
His players were getting team me, and he was like, how can I have my players getting it tatted on them and I don't have it tatted? So he got it tatted too. This is the Phoebus High School. High School, Bill D. And I have a clinic. There's a quarterback manual, quarterback drill tape that Coach Bill D, who coached Taj Boyd, that played at Clemson, he's on that tape, and he's coaching the guy he signed. It was illegal. Okay, we were out on the field, and Gerard was throwing the ball, and he was out there watching, and he was like, can I go over, Troy, can I go over a couple of things with him? And I was like, Coach, yeah. I mean, you coached Taj Boyd. You won like 4 state championships at Phoebus in a row.
Yeah, go talk to him.
Yeah. Sean Sage is pivotal in Chesterfield quarterback league.
That's a leader.
The job
right
that he's done. So that's 2 Bird guys. How important is youth football in your area, Coach Tatum?
Oh, well, that's funny. So in my opinion, youth football is critical. And you talk about Coach Mars, his dad, he coaches at Reedsville High School in North Carolina, right? Reedsville High School is a powerhouse in North Carolina, and Coach Teague just retired this year. He's going into the Hall of Fame, but he has it rolling up at Reedsville. Their youth ball, their middle school, and their high school all run the exact same system all the way up. So it is critical for those kids to be learning the game of football at the youth level. But I say it's funny because at Walkertown, where I'm at now, it's in Forsyth County, which is like known for like Winston-Salem, if you know that area.
Mm-hmm.
Winston-Salem does not have middle school football.
Yeah, we don't either.
Yeah, we don't. Yep.
So they have youth ball, and so it's Pop Warner. So it's even more critical because they play all the way up, to 8th grade. So,
yeah.
But the thing is, in Forsyth County, we're open enrollment, so kids can go to whatever school they want to, and we got kids going every which way, and
But why is that? Is that because of specialty centers, or kids can just go to whatever school they want?
If they can drive there, they can go whatever school they want to, Coach.
Do they just get a waiver? But how do they balance out like enrollments and stuff?
I have no clue, but there are 4 opportunities for them to transfer schools during the school year, and it blows my mind.
During the school year?
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
I tell you, there was a situation down here about 4 years ago in Virginia, up here, that a kid went from playing for a team down at the beach. He played the whole season, right?
Yeah.
And then he moved, and he's playing in the playoff game for the other team. And that's when they put an end to that. They were like, nah, dude, like that's adding a free agent. But guess what? The team that added a guy, they lost. Like that was a bad move, dude, because you add people, man. Like, what is that saying to the kid that's position he took? Like, we're just going to reward this kid's talent. No, we're going to reward their effort. They're buying into the process.
Yeah, you know? It happens that way. We don't have kids transferring mid-season like that.
This was after the season.
Yeah, it's either after the season or
it's crazy, man.
The winter time or in the summer. That happens a lot. So we deal with that. But back to youth ball, it's critical. And my first podcast I did with one of my buddies. He's from Virginia Beach. We talked about his uncle, with the legend in Norfolk, Glenn Yearling, the Berkeley Timberwolves, legend in Norfolk. He coaches youth ball for like 25 years. And so we talk about him, the impact he has on young people. But yeah, I think youth ball is critical, Coach.
None of us would be here today if it wasn't for our I say rec ball, youth ball coaches. Okay. I mean, there's some kids that start playing in high school, but most of us were taught by guys who were volunteers, guys that were getting off work. I mean, my first coaches were guys right out of high school, and they spit tobacco on our shoes. They stood on our stomachs when we did
Coach, tell about the time that you had to crab around the football field.
Was my brother and Freddie Hall.
Not crab the length of the football field, crab around.
That was my brother and Freddie Hall.
The 2 biggest guys I know.
I mean, they were over the weight limit as peewees, or minors that they call it now. They were over the senior weight limit as peewees, as minors. And they had to crab around the football field.
Was that the GOAT Coach Tengen?
No, that was Pete Bush, I believe.
Okay.
Pete Bush, and had another coach, Allen, that died. He got caught up in a press and he died tragically, man. And Chuck Ayers. Sean Sage says, nope. Still talk to my coaches from Bellwood. Yeah, man. Wow. I mean, all of the youth coaches out there like that. I always got guys like Lee. Lee has always wanted to come to high school. But I told, like, dude, coaching high school ball, it's hard on your schedule. Like, we start practice at 3. You know, some schools start earlier. And most guys work 9 to 5. Like, I think that youth coaches don't get the respect that they deserve. And I'm going to start doing something, all right, for all our youth coaches, give them respect. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm starting to think.
We'll put some ideas up there.
Lee Spickerman, run the same offense. I mean, Salem Church Cowboys, Kyle, they've been rolling for a while, dude.
I'm not surprised, man.
With the kids that are that will be seniors this year, and they just do a great job, man. They teach fundamentals, you know. And Coach Tatum, it's, what's your belief on these coaches that just collect talent? Like, Dan Snyder, he just collects players. He doesn't ever really like develop anybody.
I think anybody can do that. And I was in a meeting. It was my first year in Virginia Beach. My first real big job. Like, I say big job, but I was an offensive line coach for a 6A high school, right? And I'm at a coaches meeting of all the coaches in the beach. And this one guy was talking about how he had this kid. And, I'm 26 now. At that point, I was 22.
Wow.
And I was like, well, anybody can do that. And a room like looked around at me, and I was kind of like, what? Anybody can collect talent. Anybody can coach the best players. And there's nothing against Coach Beatty when he had Percy Harvin. But you tell me if I had Percy Harvin and I could throw a now screen or a bubble to him and he took it to the house, well, heck, I'm a great coach. But
yeah,
but
he says he owes everything, his
yes,
entire career to
exactly.
Percy
So,
Harvin.
and Coach Beatty has developed guys that aren't that good. So he's a great coach. But I'm saying that just using that little as an example.
Yeah.
But guys that can take awesome players and leverage them to make themselves look good, anybody can do that. Give me the kid that nobody wants, and I'm gonna develop him, and I'm gonna make him a dog.
Who's that, Madden?
That's coaching. That's
No,
coaching.
this is Paul Bear Bryant.
Heck yeah.
And Paul Bear Bryant gives the greatest speech of all time. They said this was a speech. Make sure we don't go over like 8:15, man, because I got to do UNC offensive coordinator, a former high school coach, Chip Lindsey from Georgia and Alabama. So Paul Bear Bryant, he has a speech on YouTube, and he's talking about how basically he's talking about the Madden ratings. This is back in the 60s, dude. He's giving this talk. He's on a chalkboard, but he's saying you might have a player and he's a 70.
Yeah.
And you might have another player and he's a 60. So the guy with talent, like he's a 70, he's better. And then you have a kid who's a 60. He said, but that kid with a 70 talent, they don't work hard. They don't go to the weight room. They don't do what they're supposed to. So like on game day, that guy goes down and he's like a 55. But the guy who was a 60 talent, he does everything that he should and does it the right way. And on game day, he's a 70. So it's like the dude was talking about Madden ratings back then.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, you'll be so lucky in your career, Coach Tatum. You know, like it won't even be you that surround yourself with these people. Like Coach Mountjoy. Dude, you tell Coach Mountjoy you're having a clinic, he's going to come, dude, and he's going to speak. All right. I mean, the Lord will bring people in your life. I mean,
sure will.
It's like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson and Customato. Customato was one of the greatest coaches of all time, but he just wasn't a coach. He was a mother. He was a father. He was a nurse. He was a coach. He was a philosopher. He was a motivator. He was everything. Yeah. And he changed Mike Tyson's life forever. And Mike Tyson knows that he never would have became what he became without Customato. And Joe Rogan asked him, you can watch this. He says, how did you meet him? And he says, Cuss believed that he summoned me. Customato was Floyd Patterson's coach. He was Muhammad Ali's coach. There's YouTube of him slapboxing Muhammad Ali at 70 years old. And this was in this was in the 70s, dude. He's 70 in the 70s, slapboxing Muhammad Ali. But Customato says, well, Customato dude got kicked out of boxing. He got blackballed because he wouldn't roll with the mafioso, man. You know, he wouldn't roll with the fixing the stuff. So he got blackballed and he got put. Y'all know the story of Mike Tyson?
Oh yeah.
But I'm talking about the story where he was in prison at 12 years old.
Tell it.
I mean, he saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight but I think it's Benito Torres, and it changed his life forever, dude. Because he's like, that's what I want to be. And then they watched the movie The Greatest with Muhammad Ali when he played himself, and it changed his life. He said, that's what I want to be. So he got sent upstate. I mean, the dude like committed 100 felonies before he was like 12 years old, and he was in a place. And there was this. He when they brought him there, they put him in solitary confinement. Like they wouldn't let him out. But like he kept looking through the crack and seeing like these kids with like black eyes and like missing a tooth and a broke nose. Like they were so happy.
Yeah, because they had coach.
Like, what's going on? But there was a guy that was in the prison who was a former pro fighter, and he was actually boxing these kids. But like Mike Tyson had to straighten up. He had to start doing like right and like not getting in trouble to be able to box. And these kids were like they were getting beat up. But they were so happy. But then Mike Tyson started, and he started beating up the dude. Like, eventually he was like hurting the guy. And the guy's wife was like, you got to stop. Like, this guy that you're fighting, like, you need to stop. He's only like 15, I think, or something at the time. But the dude, the prison guy, the prison guard tells him, he said, I've taken you as far as I can take you. He said, there's a guy in the Catskills that can take you further. And it was Customato. He delivered him to Customato, dude. Yeah. So that's my little rant about coaches and coaching and the Lord putting people in your life.
I love it.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now, Coach Tatum? I'm picturing you. You got a tarp over you. You're about to make a run for it, but you're like, man, I just want to talk to the boys a little bit longer.
I'm literally cool, and I will be making a run for it, but the rain's kind of settling down a little bit.
Good.
But yeah, I know I've been gassing y'all up, but
man, you're good, man. We love you. I'll be right back,
dude. Look, you just met some people. Like, dude, I'm a lifer. I've been coaching since 2000. High school ball at LC Bird as assistant, Meadowbrook High School assistant, Coach Morgan Moses. That went to UVA and plays for the Ravens. I coached John Graves, that played Virginia Tech. He was captain with Tyrod Taylor. He went to the NFL. He was the strength coach at Mississippi State last year. He got out of coaching. And I've coached Brandon Ross. Brandon Ross played in the league under Charles Woodson. And then now he's a scout for the Packers. So I was at Meadowbrook for a long time. I won a state championship in 2004 when I was like 26 years old as an assistant. Then I went to Amelia, and then I came back from Amelia to Meadowbrook to be the head coach because I helped turn that program around. We went from like worst to first in 4 years because of a group of players and a belief and a commitment that they had. And then I was a head coach at Meadowbrook High School in Chesterfield, which is south of Richmond, from 2009 until about 2014. And I felt like it was time for a change. Didn't have support from the administration. So I got out and Coach Mark James, who was a high school coach from Fort Lauderdale, and Toriano Morgan, who was a former high school coach from Fort Lauderdale. They're from Dillard and Boyd Anderson. Here's who they are. They cut Robbie Anderson. They cut Robbie Anderson because he wasn't good enough to play wide receiver. They had JoJo Natson that played in the league as a returner. They had all kinds of people. But I went to Virginia Union for 3 years, and I coached quarterbacks for 2 years and D-line my last year. And I loved it, man. I loved it. And I'm back at Bird. This will be my 6th year, I think, at Bird as a head coach. So, yeah, you just met some guys that love it, man.
Like-minded people. I mean, I love it. But I love y'all's dynamic, Coach, honestly. Like, you're firing and you're going like a mile a minute, but then Coach Bald is so chill. And I love it. I love the contrast. It flows so well, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other for so long. I mean, really, we've probably spoken 20 times over the last 20 years.
Yeah, so this is fun. It's so fun because we've been disconnected for such a good while. But with any good brotherhood, man, once you get back with your guys, we're reminiscing, and it's just like we were hanging out yesterday. And Coach Taylor knows too, man. Anything terrible ever happened to up there, and he needed me.
That's all. Hey, man. This
I'm on the plane.
We're not giving no information about anything.
I'm on the plane, first plane there.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when we get there, it's who's driving.
I'll be on the side of a mountain. Okay, I'll be on the side of the mountain somewhere.
We'll put you in a boat, man. But we'll put you in a boat and send you on your way out here, man.
That's right, man. I'll be like Castaway, Tom Hanks.
That's it, brother.
I'll be like Jimmy Johnson when he went on Survivor and lost all that weight. But we lost a guy, Coach Tatum, from Totem Pole. We lost a guy. He went in another direction, and then that's when I hit Kyle up, and Kyle got added to the mix. So sometimes things don't happen to you, they happen for you. And this was just at the convention, dude. All this happened since the convention.
Yeah.
I was talking to Kyle, and I was like, dude, you got to step up on Totem Pole, man. I need you. And he's always had a good social media presence.
Yeah.
With the O-line stuff. Me, not so much. Like, I'm not a social media guy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like I just being through Twitter and I'm like, I know Coach Bald. Like I've seen he likes my stuff. Like I know him. Like that was awesome connection right there. So yeah, heck yeah.
All right, so we got a big day. I don't want to get you in trouble at your school, man, but dude,
Yeah,
we
I
got
just pulled
Coach
up.
Chip
So.
Lindsay. This might be the biggest day in the history of Totem Pole. You know,
Coach, I love it. I ate Cody Kennedy from Arkansas last night. That's going out today. So I love you're getting the Carolina guys on there to talk. I'm gonna watch them all day.
Yeah, buddy. So, hey, Coach Bald, you want to send us out talking about our sponsors? Are we good?
Yeah, man, we're good. I might do another little show a little bit. Might have a special guest on, but yeah, let me give a shout out, man. Cultivate Wellness. They're in Richmond. They were the first ones out. Go check them out. My beautiful cousin, she works there. She works at the one on the Pike, brother. You was asking me which one she worked on. She worked at the one in the Pike. You know, health is wealth these days, so you want to take care of yourself. No better feeling than getting up feeling like $1 million. Okay, so head out there, head out to Cultivate Wellness. Tell them what's wrong with you. Tell them where you ache at. Ask them what they can do for you. They'll get you squared away. Let them do the work. They'll take good care of you. And anybody else that's in the area, we're down here in St. Pete Rejuvenate. Come check us out, man. We do everything from Botox to facials to ketamine infusions to IV hydrations. You name it, man. Health is wealth. We're trying to take care of you. We've got people coming all over the world to check us out, man. That ketamine infusion, it's something you need to research. It's doing a lot for people that are severely depressed, people with chronic pain. You know, do something about it. Stop living your life in such pain and anguish and, you know, having to tough out and gut out every single day. There is a better option for you. So please check us out. And that's at stpeterejuvenate.com. And if you guys are in the VA area or you want to order something online, go to cultivatewellness.com. We'll take great care of you. And Totem Pole Nation, man, thank you guys. Until the next episode. Burr, 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 burr.